The British almost caused the First World War. The year is 1911. Europe appears peaceful, interwoven with diplomatic alliances, but beneath the surface, tension simmers among the great powers. All eyes are on North Africa, specifically Morocco, where a great drama of colonial ambitions, relentless rivalry, and the threat of global conflict is unfolding.
As the split historian Dr. Tihomir Rajcic writes in his book, Serbia's Guilt for the First World War, the main problem was in Paris and Berlin. At the beginning of the year, France and Germany did not have a clear agreement on the division of interests in Morocco, a country rich in ores and raw materials, which they strongly wanted to divide between themselves. And while Morocco was still officially an independent state on paper, the real power lay beyond its borders, in the European governments and their embassies. The British government, traditionally accused of hypocrisy and double standards in the Balkans, was very afraid of Germany. Namely, the German stronghold on the Atlantic coast of Morocco was considered a threat to British maritime routes in the Atlantic.
Germany, dissatisfied with its position, decides to take action. The trigger is the fact that Morocco is experiencing uprisings. The capital Fez is in danger, and France is sending troops to protect its interests, all outside of international agreements. An alarm rang in Berlin. It is time for a show of force, known as gunboat diplomacy. On July 1st, the German warship Panther enters the port of Agadir, quickly followed by two more ships, Berlin and Eber. Germany sends a clear warning. It will not calmly watch France take everything. This maneuver, although at first glance only a demonstration, is actually playing with fire.
The government in London was gripped by panic. A potential German base in Agadir could directly threaten their maritime routes, crucial for the trade and security of their then global empire. Military intervention was being seriously considered. Although Chancellor of the Exchequer, David Lloyd George had not been inclined toward military solutions until then, on July 21st he sent a decisive message to the Germans. Britain would neither retreat nor tolerate threats to its interests. At that moment, things came to the brink. The front pages of major European newspapers declared that a world war was a matter of time. The consequences would be immeasurably greater than a mere colonial change. France, directly threatened, can count on military assistance from Russia. On the other hand, Germany knows that Austria-Hungary, bound by alliance, would have to stand by its side. One British shot, and a fire would engulf the entire continent.
No, in the hot July, although it seemed that war was inevitable, the pragmatism of European diplomacy saved the peace. Instead of military conflicts, a settlement was agreed upon. Germany withdrew from Morocco in exchange for part of the territory in Congo. The Germans were dissatisfied, because Congo was worth far less than Morocco. France soon regained full control over Morocco, turning it into its colony. Despite the apparent calming, tensions remain. The British, Germans, French, and Russians are even more openly building military alliances, increasing military spending, and developing new strategies. Trust among the powers is disappearing, and the streets and media are spreading nationalist rhetoric. The brief postponement of conflict does not calm the spirit of the times. Only a small pretext is needed, like the assassination in Sarajevo in 1914, for everything to erupt again.
History could have taken a completely different direction. If the British had been in Morocco, World War I could have broken out 3 years earlier. This unknown episode, told based on confidential documents from the British government, reminds us how fragile international relations are, and how little it takes for the world to change fundamentally. That is why it is very important to read the book by the split historian Dr. Tihomir Rajcic, Serbia's Guilt for World War I, which will soon be published. You can pre-order the book from the author at raj6666 yahoo.com or on social media.